Hey guys, it's Mark again. I just wanted to show you the Bestiary 2 box, and that I also use the same storage method for storing these pawns. And I was going to talk to you a little bit about the pawns themselves and maybe who would use them and who basically, what kind of gamer they're designed for. But first off, the Bestiary box comes with the pawns and, you know, these monsters here. Like this, there's tons. I'm not going to show you each individual monster. I will show you some of them, but just tons of creatures. I think over 300. But basically, that's a lot of value for your money. You're getting over 300 pawns, and you maybe spent maybe $30 for these. So they also come with the bases for the pawns, just like here, these bases. And so if you already have the Bestiary box, the first one, and you're also going to get the Bestiary 2 box, you'll have plenty of bases. You'll have plenty. If you were worried about not having enough after the first box, don't worry. If you get the second box, you're going to have more than enough, believe me. Okay, so that's it with the box itself. Like I said, you know, you could actually store the pawns in here. Some people do that, or you could do it like I'm going to show you, which I've shown you in the other video. But basically, you know, I put mine in a binder like this, and I keep them all in one place where I can easily see them and index what monsters I'm going to grab, usually just by alphabetical order, because that way you can just go right to it. I put them in these clear business card binders, and you know, they just go right in. As you can tell, there's room in there for the mediums and the larges for that size. And you know, your very small pawns, this is the tricky part, and this is the main reason why I use these Velcro tabs here. You see these the little ones here? These are the medium sizes, so these are your small sizes. These little things will fall out like nobody's business if you don't have this secured in some way. The mediums will even still fall out. You see how that already is wanting to push out, see? But they're not as bad as these. These will fall out really fast, and that's what made me come up with this idea of using the Velcro tabs to flip it over and hold them in place. So now you know, the opening is closed off and they can't fall out, but you can still see on both sides. So that's the medium ones, and they got a lot of variety in here. I don't know if you could see this one right here. This is pretty awesome. It's a giant fly and a giant fly maggot, and I don't know if you can tell what that is right there, but it's a dead horse, and you have the giant fly on one side eating it and the maggot on the other side eating it. So it basically shares the same horse picture. This is the head of the horse moving around to the butt, and that's basically, you know, a shared picture between the two. It's very creative of the artist, whoever did that, so that you could actually have the two creatures side by side. Because probably if you've got flies around somewhere, you've probably got maggots too. But so those are the mediums, and like you see here, these swarms. And I always put those to the inside, and the mediums towards the outside of the opening, just so I don't have the issue of them falling out by accident. Tons of creatures in here for your value. These are your large sizes. Now these still use the business cards. You just stick them in sideways, and you only get one in per side. I don't Velcro these because I don't have as much of an issue of these falling out, but I do put the flat side here towards the opening, because there's a little bit more surface area on these cards, and there's a little resistance on this edge. These edges are rounded and smooth, so that it makes it that much less likely to fall out. I really don't have too much of an issue of these trying to fall out though. And then I will show you the giant sizes. Now they don't do gargantuan or colossal sizes in pawns. So for that, you're on your own, but at least so far, there's a lot of people asking for them, and you never know, they might come up with some solution of trying to get you some type of colossal pawn. But for these, I have to use this, the 3.5 by 5 inch photo binder pages, and you get 4 of them, per page. But they go right into the binder as well, and you get it from the same place. I got mine from Office Depot. And that's it. You basically just, stick them in there. Of course, these are much less likely to fall out on you. But even still, even with using this system, if you're carrying your pawns, don't carry try not to carry the binder just upside down in any which way. Try to carry it to where it's basically closed off, preferably inside a backpack or something like that. So even if something were to come out, you're not going to lose it. But it's pretty unlikely you'll lose something like that if you store it this way anyway. So who are the pawns for? If you're a Theater of the Mind gamer, these pawns probably aren't for you. And you don't really have a need. I'm just going to put that there so you have something to look at. You don't really have a need for pawns. You don't really use any of the visual battlefield grid system tactical battle kind of game. So those probably wouldn't be useful to you. I mean, you could have it just to show your player this is what it looks like if you wanted to, but that's $30 just to be able to do that, and you could probably just show them the monster manual picture if you wanted to do it that way. But anyway, that's probably not a product for you. If you're a wargamer type of player, or you're heavily tactic player that really is into miniatures and miniature combat, again, it's probably not the product for you. I know you would prefer to have 3D representation, really cool miniatures for your armies and whatnot, and for your battlefields and all that. So pawns probably, again, not for you. Where it's the most useful, and I think they nailed this market, is basically for your middle-of-the-road players that play things like Pathfinder Society or the D&D Encounters, or that kind of player, or even play home games, but just enjoy both role play and some tactical combat. You basically do use a grid system, and if you're going to use a grid system, this is the most affordable way to use it. You can buy a big blank Chessex battle mat, have some wet erase markers, and these pawns, if you get Bestiary 1 and 2 box, you're gold, man. You have a lot. You have a lot of creatures to throw at your players, that's for sure. And for players who enjoy that visual feel, they like to see the battlefield, they like to see the combat played out. These are great products. They are very affordable versus buying miniatures. Paizo offers various sets of miniatures right now, and they're pretty expensive. You're talking several hundreds of dollars, $3, $4. A lot of people just have a hard time affording that, especially in today's economy. But you know what? Good on Paizo that they recognize the fact that there's a lot of players out there that just simply cannot afford that type of product, especially in today's economy, and needed an alternative, and this was, I think, a perfect alternative. Or if you're the type of person, maybe you're just getting into the games, you're kind of behind the ball, you don't have years and years worth of miniatures saved up, over the decades, and you're also not the type who's creative enough to sit down with metal miniatures and paint, that kind of thing, or that just you don't get any enjoyment out of that, then this is a perfect product for you. It saves you a lot of money. It gives you a lot of value for the money because you get a lot of monsters to throw at the players. And it's just a great idea by Paizo. I give them a lot of kudos for that. And that's it, basically. If you find yourself like me, every now and then, my players, you know, they like to see the big bad guy and have it be impressive. And so a lot of times for that guy, I will try to find an actual miniature for representation. And also, I try to, for my own characters, I try to use actual miniatures. And some of them I've actually painted. I'm not a great painter by any means, but it's not too bad. If you put your hand to it, you can do it. Watch a few videos on YouTube. I'm not going to make a YouTube video on how to paint a miniature because I suck. But there's other guys out there who are pros, and you know, watch their videos. But usually for my own character representation, I try to have an actual miniature. And then, like I said, for the big bad at the end, sometimes I try to have an actual miniature to just give it that extra oomph. But that's it, guys. That's the Bestiary 2 box. Lots of creatures, great value, and a good storage system to keep them in. Hope you guys have a great gaming day, and take care.